just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. And as you can see, this is a premiere, but it's going to be live and direct because it's still going to be in the chat, right? But I'm going to be at the ACBN symposium. So, hold on. Yeah. I'm really excited about that. And you know, I can't leave you guys without something. However, the saddest part is you guys are not going to see me live until at least mid-April. Next week I'm going to be having a guest. And I don't know how I am going to be on that day. And if you know why. All right. But oh my gosh, I haven't given you guys updates in a little bit. But I always have my other computer that's able to tell y'all things. But um March 17th hit 8 years of Fitnance IQ. So I had to represent the shirt and everything. I was gonna wear something more comfy, but I was like, nah, I want to represent for Fitnance IQ services. And man, March has been something. We're basically at the end of the month. Oh, I almost said year. End of the month. And one thing about the end of March is it starts getting busy with taxes. And I'm actually happy that even though there's been many people, I know there's many people that have been asking me, oh, so when's it ready? When can I do stuff? And I decided this week I'm gonna talk about the right ways that I want to do this so it could be streamless. And also the difficulties of CRA. But what else do I have to say? Big up Frequency Event Promotions. I went to his event. Jackie Clark was there talking about sponsorships, event sponsorships, and then he also has his flyer. Sophisticated Thursdays. I was popped down that day. I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't able to make it. If y'all only knew how March has been, you would understand why I need give me some grace. Give me some grace. But I'm gonna be coming back in full force and things, right? But yeah, today I actually, wrote down a call guideline what we're gonna talk about. Um I'm gonna dabble into what really happens when it comes to your taxes. I am going to rant about CRA. Not being fully ready, so I'll like kind of telling folks to like take it easy because if it Siri still hasn't loaded tax slips, and CRA also needs time for the banks or the financial institutions to load their T3s and T5s. If you have them, amazing. If you don't, I understand. I am a patient individual. And then also um, last minute tax tips. I am gonna have another episode, of course, in April for your latecomers, like the late comers, and I also want to dabble in with the newcomers on being prepared for taxes and stuff. Don't worry, self-employed folks or regular folks. I will have a segment for y'all. I'll say like mid-April. Mid-April, yeah. That's the goal. Mid-April, I will cater to other folks. And how to, plan wisely and stuff for the tax season like in 2025, okay? But you already know what's up. I'm gonna have our commercial break. So boom, bam, bam. Oh, there it is.
Imagine turning financial chaos into calm. Meet Alex. Alex is a young professional buried in bills and receipts. They're overwhelmed, unsure where to start. But then, light bulb moment. Alex discovers FitnanceIQ. With just a few clicks, Alex is setting up a personalized budget thanks to FitnanceIQ's user-friendly tools. It's like having a financial coach right at their fingertips. Fast forward a few weeks, and Alex is breezing through bill payments, watching their savings grow, and even planning for the future. No more stress, no more chaos, just simple steps leading to big results. Alex now shops with confidence, knowing every dollar's accounted for. FitnanceIQ didn't just help organize Alex's finances, it gave them peace of mind. Ready to take control of your finances? Visit FitnanceIQ today and start your journey to financial freedom. FitnanceIQ. Simple steps, big results.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. All right. I still love that commercial and stuff. I have to give a shout out. I have to give a shout out for people that wants to help me elevate my business and things. And big up my mentors. I've been talking with my mentors very often lately. And big up my bookkeepers, accountants that are in the grind with me when it comes to the tax season. However, I found an article. You know me, I love having articles about this just so you don't think I'm pulling this out of my ass and things, right? But I think it's very valuable to understand why you have to do taxes. And I know someone's gonna be like, come here, I don't want them all up and in my business and stuff. And I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But meh, mer, mer. But I digress. Doo, 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 doo. Let's see this one. Oh, it's a 7-minute read, but you know me. I'm just gonna skim through it mostly, but I really, oh gosh, and I'll talk about it after because you know I love talking about the stock market. And golly Bob. um wow. The stock market is doing some things. I even have to give a laugh because I was talking to my mentor. He's like, I know I didn't hear you say that you had Air Canada. I was like, I do. There was a time when I wanted to get rid of it, and then it went. It's a it's one heck of a thing. But I'm not gonna get mad. Because at the end of the day, it's slow, steady wins the race, and I'm here for a long time, not a short time. Know what I mean? So yeah, things like that. But gotta fix up. Okay, so the one oh I do have to do a post, right? A poll. I'll try to do a poll just in a second. Oh, things want to go on. So the big question is, actually, I don't need this. I'm not gonna share it. I have it, but I want to talk to you guys. I want to be intimate with y'all. Why should we file, or why should you file your taxes? So I have a lot of people that, not a lot. Sorry, let me digress. Um, every year I have folks that have multiple years, to file their taxes. Right. The one thing that um is not ideal is when you miss out on benefits and credits, right? I have people that are like, "Oh, am I gonna get that $250 that they're talking about?" I said, "No, you didn't file your taxes, so you wouldn't be able to receive it. Sorry." But I do understand that there is a incentive. There's a other 200 or 251 where if you file your taxes by March 31st. So I know there's gonna be some people like, "Yo, Cam, run that filing, eh? I don't care." Right? They're going to be able to utilize those taxes. There's the Canada carbon rebate. I know our new prime minister has said that he's cutting it, and then also the capital gains. So I will have a discussion about that. There's a lot of discussions I have to have with what's going on in the personal finance world. But yeah, the benefits and credits is one of the things you want to utilize that, right? Um and so there's a couple things. So there's like the CCB, these benefits, like if you're in a lower income than others, you get that incentives. And then when you think about there's a benefit that slipped me, like CPP overpayment. So if you have overpayment of CPP and it's over the 3 years, you're gonna miss out on that opportunity. So you're not utilizing your benefits and credits, right? So we really want to be mindful about that. And the biggest one of them all, listen, and I know this is for folks that are there. This is the one thing that people are really scared of, right? And it's um ah, and that is when you owe tax or you want to receive a refund. I would say to the folks that have a refund, you're missing out on getting that money so you could do other things with it. And I've had previous episodes on what you can use or what you can do with your tax refund if you do receive one. But to the folks, ladies and gentlemen, if you owe taxes, you're not gonna like those penalties and late fees. One, you're not gonna receive the benefits that I was just mentioning. They will take that from you, right? Well, that's once you filed and they acknowledge that. Not only that, if the CRA is gangster a little bit. They're not as gangster as IRS, so I heard, but CRA is gangster, so don't mess with them. So, like, ideally, to the folks that owe, it's ideal to do your taxes so um you don't pay a high interest rate. If it's a small amount, like 200, 300, because you've utilized your taxes, cool. You're gonna have to pay an extra 15, $30 or stuff based on like how long period of a time that you decide to do it. Because I know people, if you don't do it in April or by June, you most likely is gonna wait until like um summertime when you're actually able to simmer down and be able to see what's going on. So that's one thing, right? Um, mm, and I mentioned this already because this is part of the. Okay, so let me put it in order. Let me put it in order. I did mention one thing, but I want to mention it again because this is really important. I want you to understand this aspect. Just to confirm the refundable tax credits, right? So, especially old age security. And I pause because I remember a time when someone didn't give me the right amount, and it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing. And I actually strive for folks to really wait till the very last minute. Not last minute, sorry. Not last minute. Not last minute. make sure all the documents that you receive is correct, or the information that you received is correct, because I am low key, I want your CRA account, because I low key don't trust I low key don't trust all numbers, because anything can happen, right? So when I have access to the CRA account, I'm able to see what benefits that you have, and I'm able to get a picture of, okay, so you have this, 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 so I'm going to expect these type of things on the list. And I do have a checklist. I have it. It's 90% done. I just have to tweak certain things, which big up ADP for giving me my book. I've been waiting for this. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of waiting game that I've been experiencing. So that's also why I'm like, all right, guys, just cool it down, yo. Just cool down. Yeah. So big up ADP for this tax guide, and also there's so the Canada Workers Benefit. So for folks that are like, um, lower income, the GST, HST credits, things like that. The climate action incentive. I think that's what I meant to say. I was thinking of childcare as well. So for the people that have picked me and you don't want to do your taxes, you're missing out on these refunds and benefits. Like, come on, don't do that. I know there's some people that have done it, but I digress. I mentioned this before. To recover any tax you overpaid from your employees. Yes, you will get it regardless, but if you've overpaid, then you really want to be mindful about this, right? Um, CPP, EI, income taxes. And it's really good to you'll have an idea of how much money you're going to be receiving back when you calculate how much income tax you have and just your marginal tax rate, and so on and so forth. And there's other factors, but that's just a little, little nugget, right? You also want to establish your contribution room in your RSP, and this is more so for the folks that make 80K and more. You want to be mindful about that. I'm not dogging the folks that make less than 80K, but you will not reap the benefits as much with your RSP if you're making less than 80K. You won't reap the benefits as much. You can also carry forward, but I wouldn't carry forward for so long period of times if you're always at multiple tax return folks. It's just not a good look, right? Boop, 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 boop. And you can just save. Well, yeah. Well, with the RSP, you can carry forward, so that's a good thing. But there's certain things. When you wait more than 3 years, you will lose that opportunity, and most times it's capital gains and capital losses. So really be mindful about that. My my favorite word. You might be eligible for the Canada Learning Bond for your child's education savings. Yes. So if they indicate that your income is a certain amount, you'll get that little extra boost, right? So you want to file your taxes, so you'll be able to get that support, because they won't know that unless you've done your taxes, right? And also the last thing. Almost the last thing. Peace of mind. This is for the self-employed folks that will be owing back, especially more than $3,000. You'll have more peace of mind that you know how much you owe, and then we can come up with a plan to strategize how to pay that back. Obviously, if it's $3,000 and more, there is a tax installment, and I'd always recommend that for folks, because if you're paying like 10 grand, let's say, or 4 grand, that's a lot of money to do all at once, right? That's not peace of mind, right? So you definitely want to do that. And also, don't forget to contact me. To contact me. I have a system. I promise you, I have a system. I'm just tweaking it a little bit. I realized on my questionnaire I didn't ask like the one most important thing is your date of birth. Obviously, if it's folks that I've had for previous years, we Gucci. I got that. But for new folks, I need your guys' date of birth. So I'll ask that with a follow up. So boom. So then we have it like that, right? And these are why it's important to file. If you don't think it's important, think of it this way. Yo, you see those potholes on the street? You see all these fundings that are being cut and all these stuff? If you owe money, this money, your taxpayers is paying into these certain programs and stuff. Just pay the money. If you are getting money back, get your money back as soon as possible. Yo, nothing's worse than having CRA hold your money. Don't let CRA hold your money. No, no. Out of all the people, no, no. Nope, 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 nope. Okay? Okay. So one thing I want to remind you guys about is also this is the most important thing. What documents do I need to file your taxes? So I just mentioned one of them is date of birth. So your personal identity. Yes, I need your SIN number. No, I'm not going to do anything with your SIN number. I'm not. That's not my type of. I, I would never want to do that. I'd feel really bad, right? So information like date of birth, SIN, your address, your mailing address, and where you live could be two different places. I just need to know. And I think I've mentioned this before, like just telling me not to, just don't lie to me. Just be honest. Just be honest, right? I want to know if you're married, single, common law, all, divorced, widow. Those statuses actually matter. I just realized the other day someone put divorce. I was like, well, we never knew you're divorced. So these are important things to let your tax preparer, specialist, accountant to know, right? Um, Also, your income from all sources. That is on my checklist. That is on my checklist. I want to know if you have a T4, T4A. I want to know if you have a T5, a T5008. Just so I'm able to structure how to accommodate you for certain things, right? Knowing those things and knowing what to expect and what other charges to expect goes a long way when I know what type of tax slips you're getting, right? Um, if you tell me like, yo, cat, like, or if you're self-employed, I have to know that because I'm gonna be like, where's your tax slips? Oh, I'm not. Oh, I work for myself. Okay, that's a different story. I have to provide you my business expense template so you're able to categorize your expenses and income. Ideally, I'll give you guys self-employed folks. I shouldn't be waiting till now to get a hold of you because you actually can do your expenses throughout the whole year based on my business template. All right. Um, and then also receipts. Do I have it? Do I have it? I don't. I don't have a receipt bag anymore. I don't have a receipt bag anymore. But um, if I get it like so, oh man, is it gonna show? If I get it like so, or if I get it with, damn, it's not close enough to me. Or if I get another folder, it's close, but it's not close by me. But even if I get a folder like this, I'm okay. I'm okay with this, okay? I'm okay with it because it's organized. You told me what's on it. Cool. But if you give me a receipt bag and you don't give me with the business expense template, I'm charging you extra. Okay? It's gonna take me longer. And then your previous tax receipt, tax return. Um, this way, like especially your notices of assessment, and this is for folks that I haven't done their taxes before. If this is my first time seeing you, I want to get an idea of what was happening and seeing if there's any ways to make it work, right? And the last part, how do you file taxes in Canada? I don't know. Something about Wealthsimple actually really annoys me. Something about Wealthsimple actually annoys the shite out of me. However, there's online filing with a certified tax software. I use Profile. There is Netfile, where you can go on certain you can go on CRA. Um, there's TurboTax. I'm okay with TurboTax. I used to use them, but I switched to Profile, so it's ideally the same. But you're able to get you're able to do it yourself if it's easy. But if you are having like more complex taxes, I would suggest a person like myself to help you. Right? There is paper filing. I know only one person still that does paper filing. Or if you have multiple um filing to do, you have to send the first couple ones in the mail. So I wouldn't, because the process for paper filing is really annoying. That's why it's so important to keep filing on time instead of waiting like what, 2 weeks? No, yeah, 2 weeks to get a result, or even instantly you get your notice of assessment, so you have an idea what's going to happen. But do the paper way, it's like 8 weeks or so. CRA has 7 months. 7 months is the longest I had to do a T1 adjustment or wait for a T1 adjustment, and it's highly annoying. Um, if you have a modest income or like very low, I'm actually doing a special for those individuals. I've come to realize, okay, let's the modest income needs some love too. And the only reason why it's not going to be free, because there is community centers that you can do it for free, like community volunteer income tax. I'm going to provide you education to help you guide yourself into a better situation, and I'm still going to provide the tax strategy. So there's value into this, right? Also, ooh, child. Please let me authorization. Please let me in. Please let me in, baby. Just to make it easier. Oh my god, just to make it easier. Or you can file with a discounter. I've been seeing this for a while, and I'm gonna do a episode about this because I'm like, I know if I'm a discounter, I have to have a different number. And if I was doing there's another one. There is another one. I don't want to open this. And it's a as a trustee, right? Um so yeah, that's how different ways to file. And also the last and important thing I think that people need to understand is what actually happens after you file your taxes. What hold on, let me take a sip. If you owe taxes, you have to pay by April 30th, right? To avoid fees, penalties. I've mentioned this many times. I'm pretty sure I even mentioned when the RRSP contribution due date was. I almost got into a debate, but yeah, that was March 3rd was the due date to do your RSP. So it's really important. There's one thing I think is you have to have a conversation with your tax specialist throughout the year, so you're able to understand these things, right? You can't just like come to me blindly. It you will not get the best opportunities if you don't come to me throughout the year. Simple as that. But yeah, after you file, here's this you if you owe taxes, you want to avoid those fees, right? Um, if you receive a refund and you don't go to H&R Block, yes, I'm calling them out because I hear the prices are wild. Fam, if you want, like, I get it, times are rough and you want that instant refund, but you're giving them a part of your refund. I'm pretty sure you guys can wait a week to 2 weeks to get your refund if you do it electronically. If you do it by paper, it takes a little bit longer unless CRA is being a jackass, which they are. You can review your notice of assessment when you get it instantly now as of late. So if you see something that's like off, you could be able to amend it and pray to Jah that it's not you owing them back. Because I find like, and this is why I said just hold off. Especially, there's been so many times where I've seen someone say, "Ooh, I forgot that T5. Ooh, I forgot this. Ooh, I forgot that." What happens? You owe back. So if you know you're gonna receive a T5, T3, certain investments, just hold off a little bit because I don't want you to be paying them back, right? That's the most annoying thing that happens. That actually gives me anxiety that you couldn't wait or you didn't have the opportunity to have all your information when I give you a checklist and say, yo, did you get everything? But I'm going to start having more conversations and taking notes and being able to know what I'm missing. So that's why I have a questionnaire. That's why I have a checklist. That's why I asked for you guys to wait till you have everything and stop sending me multiple emails. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm so happy that you guys are being proactive, but stop sending me emails. I have a place where you guys could go to send them. Send it through there so I can see, yo, the multiple emails is getting too much these days, right? Boom. Um, and if you need to change your return, you can amend it. You can change it whenever. Um, and if you get and even though CRA is very slow with doing this, if you get a letter from them, it's either a letter of review. So they're like, we don't like what you have there. I need you to double check this just in case. But if they audit you, they're gonna ask you for way more stuff, right? So I suggest when it comes to the review letter, do it within 30 days, right? Do it within 30 days. You have that still fresh in your head. You don't have to worry. And that's also a reason why you should do your taxes every day and not wait, like push back. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. Multiple returns I love, but it's actually harder for you to remember what happened in 2023. 2023? No, sorry. 2013. It's harder for you to remember what happened. Yes, that has happened to me. It's harder for you to know, like, yo, Camille, I still have my Metro Pass. Can I use that? Oh, this is like 2007. Do you still have your Metro Pass? No, Cam, I threw that long time away. And you also have to keep these things for at least 7 years. But if you haven't done it in a minute, but also, I need. You see these? You see these folders? You see folders? Or the other thing where you could go to Dollarama and get it? just put your tax stuff in there or put it in a certain folder to keep that safe, just in case something happens, right? And please, for the love of God, can you guys remember your password? Can you remember your password to your CRA account? You go through it every year. Oh, Kamille, I don't remember it. Yes, need to start remembering it. Please, for the love of God. That's just my TED Talk. And as you know, I dislike CRA time to time, right? You guys had to do better. I know someone's taxes that have been completely wiped out of their CRA account. I don't understand. I don't know if it's the company that's slacking, or I don't know if it's CRA slacking. You guys are pissing me off, and you guys have to do better. If you notice that you haven't received all your tax slips, double check with HR, your HR, to make sure that you got everything, and maybe they sent it through another platform, maybe ADP, um, sent it in another portal. Just double check all your employee portals to receive these things, and just put it in a folder. Put it in a folder. Put it in a folder, please. I don't know who to cuss. I don't know who to cuss because I really want to help folks, but if I can't even get the right information, um, I don't know what to do. And also, if you do have issues with your with CRA not saying that you had income, talk to your HR people. Talk to your HR people. They will be able to provide a letter to give to CRA to give you proof. I've seen it happen and it's annoying. Trying to take people's money. I don't know why I sound shitty for a second. Sorry. But yeah, that's one thing that's annoying, right? Okay, so and then now I want how do I want to go with this? I gotta make sure this is the right year, because if it's the wrong year, then there's no point in talking about it. Yeah, it's the wrong year. Ooh, okay. The Bible's coming back. The Bible's coming back. I'll do it next time. Um, but I want to let you guys know what income is taxable in Canada. I think this is something folks should know, but sometimes you guys always ask and things. So point blank period, employment income, right? Money that you earn from any job. And I want you guys to think of different streams of income as well, right? So when you have a 9 to 5, you'll be able to get a T4 or a T4A. Sometimes a T4A means that you just got either insurance, or you have like commission, you're a contractor to them and stuff, or they're just giving you a little more incentives, right? So you got to be mindful about that. Once I see a T4A, I'm like, ooh, okay, I might have to give them a business expense template, right? Also for the commission based folks, you you're in a sweet spot. Actually, I should put it up. Sorry, let me do it this way. I just want you guys to make sure you're aware of this. It didn't say, oh, Kamille never told me. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So there's employment income, right? Boom, bam, bam. So this is for the 9 to 5ers that get the T4, T4As. That's all I could think of. Yes. Okay. And then we have our self-employment income. This is for the folks that you can also get a T4A to show proof that you were a subcontractor for a business. So you'd also put that in your T2125. Ideally, with a self-employed income, this is up to you. You're taking care of your taxes. You're taking care of your CPP. But with someone that's employed, their employer is taking care of that. That's why they're always like, oh, well, why do I always have to pay the most tax? Because you're not utilizing things. However, commission-based employees get to dabble into like self-employment income. Self-employment incentives, because there's certain expenses that you can claim as well to lower your taxable income, right? There's also interest. There is interest. I know some people are gonna get cheese. They always say like, Kamille, what's this T3 or T5? Um, you earned income in your bank account. Congratulations. Whether you had a GIC or bonds, whether you had a high interest savings account, if you made more than $50 for the tax year, congratulations. You're getting a T3, T5. Or it's a T5, sorry, T5 slip. Um, I always say T3 just in case, because there's certain things. There's also folks that will receive, and remember, this is taxable income. I'm just reminding you guys. So we have employment, we have self-employment. He's trying to look. Interest, and now investments. Okay, so if this is your TFSA, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about your TFSA. This is for the non-registered investments. I've talked about this before. I have a. Should I post? I think I will post that one. That one was really great numbers. Um, so this is if you're earning income on stocks, dividends, bonds, investment properties, right? That's why it's very important when I ask you the question, did you sell anything? I'm going to find out anyways. You're going to get a T5. You're going to get a T5 or a T3, or you're going to get a T, is it the 5008? And let me tell you, there, if you guys are selling like crazy, I'm going to be getting a lot of those. And mm, that's complex. That's complex. This is for the retired folks. You get income when you retire. So that's your CPP or Quebec pension plan, OAS, RIF, all those things depending on your age. OAS, CPP, pension plan, so on and so forth. And then you and I don't recommend anyone that is in their 30s or 40s, but life does happen, right? RSP withdrawals, right? This is if you're taking out money from your RSP, you will get charged extra. Your RSP withdrawals are taxable income. This is very important to remember. This is very important to remember. Um, so please be mindful about this, right? Um, you when you contributed to your RSP, it was helping you reduce your taxable income. Now that you're taking it out and using it, you have to pay up, pay up, pay up, pay up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right? Um, this is for folks that need to really know this. This one, you guys are gonna love me for this one. Golly, this one's important. What income is not taxable in Canada? This is different, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the folks in the States. Y'all can't relate. Y'all can't relate. I think I have a fun fact to tell y'all. Lottery and gaming. So if you win big with lucky numbers, we don't have to pay for it. Or cash in the casino. But any interest earned on these winnings would be taxable. And I'm assuming later, like in the next year, it'll be taxable, right? Um, I actually heard a fun fact. We kind of can't gamble in Canada without a what is it, without a license, right? So yeah, so this is not taxable. Lottery winnings and gaming. Another one. Oop, Mini on cam. I know you're gonna come for me. Okay, I know you're gonna come for me. For this part, RDSP, RDSP withdrawals as well. It's not me. It's them. I'm gonna start being more mindful about our disabled folks, right? But not taxable is most inheritance and gifts. So yo, if your auntie went and gave you some birthday gifts, money or graduation gift, you don't have to claim that. This is something that people have to experience. If someone that passes away leaves you money, you don't have to pay for that. That's exempt from income tax. Thank God. Thank you, Ja. But if the person who passed away owed any taxes, you might have to use some of that money. Yeah. And also keep some of that money until you resolve the estate. That's a thing to think about. I think some people always think about this one, and I've been asked this question. Canada child benefit or GST, HST, this is not taxable income. For folks that, oh, what's the point about life insurance? You don't, the amounts from life insurance policy payouts, that's not taxable. And I want to know from the Americans or anywhere else, because internationally known. So people that live in Germany, South Africa, Korea, 안녕하세요, Jamaica. What about this? Like, are these incomes not? Are these incomes taxable or not taxable? Um, educational scholarships. You get to put away all that money towards a brighter future. Bum bum bum. And as I mentioned before, I gotta add to this because it's still new and things. TFSA and FHSA withdrawals. That's not taxable. I shouldn't have put the FHSA ideally, but I'm pretty sure it's not taxable. This might be trigger. There's a trigger warning coming up. Trigger warning, trigger warning. Strike pay from a union. That's not the trigger warning, by the way. If you got paid, you're out there picketing with the union members, and this happens a lot for us, our teachers. My heart goes out for y'all. Y'all especially go out during the winter time. Y'all need to do it like more in the spring time, so you get a little bit warmth. I know you can't do it in the summer because you guys are out for the summer. Right? And then victim shucks, compensation. Thank heavens you don't have to be. That's not taxable. So provincial or territorial payments to victims of crime or motor vehicle accidents are not taxable. That's true. So basically, wow, this went longer than I thought. Actually, these are the tips. These are the tips, right? These are the tips that I wanted to mention, but I wanted to talk about taxes for new Canadians or newcomers. Let me see if mm, 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 mm. Which one's more ideal? I'll do the TurboTax one. We'll do the TurboTax one. And I'm going to be real quick because I have to be mindful of the time. I'm supposed to be having a meeting. And I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to disappoint. Let me just make sure. So for the new Canadians or the newcomers, I should say newcomers. Fun fact for y'all. I seen it here, and I want to make sure I say this loud and clear. Mm, mm, Okay, that part I can deal with. Guys, I've been really tired as of late. I don't know if it's the weather because spring came and left, but golly, Bob, you something's been kicking my ass. I can't even explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. And things. Dang. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this real quick, but I want to. Mm, 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 because this is really important. Because technically speaking, everyone that earns something in Canada um, has to pay. Sorry, has to file their taxes, right? But it all depends on some certain things. And I've seen it before, and then all of a sudden it disappeared on me. Oh, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, okay. Here's the me and woman want to see it. Let me just put it in this. Ooh, okay. Broski. Oh, there's not enough, that's why. Okay. As a newcomer to Canada, of course, you're not required to do your taxes until the year after you've become a resident for tax purposes. For example, if you arrived in 2024, you'll not require to file tax. And I had to. You'll not require to file 2024 income tax for until April. Basically, you don't have to worry about it. You don't gotta worry about it. So, kudos to you. But there are different types um of new Canadians, right? Some people are going to experience this, and I've already talked to couple of folks, not couples, that are going to experience this. Um, I think I have to put that on my questionnaire. So the new Canadians are permanent residents. So if you have your PR card, um, sorry, I'm just making sure it categorized. Individuals who have received approval in principle from the Department of Immigration, Refugees, and Canadian Citizenship Canada. Big up to them. That's where my mom used to work. To remain in Canada, there's also new Canadians these are refugees. They're considered new Canadians. And then we also have our temp residents. And these are people that are holding student visas, work permits, or temporary resident permits, right? So boom, bam, bam. And also, and this is something I experienced was whether your residents, right? So there's a couple ways to establish whether you have something. Oop, darn. There's I tell them I'm gonna be late because I love chat. Me love chat. Um, Sorry, guys. Recording. Okay, so there's a couple ways to see what kind of significant residential ties you have as a Canadian resident. Okay, so the one thing is establishing a home in Canada. Oops. Establishing a home in Canada, having a spouse or a common law partner in Canada, having dependents such as children in Canada. If you're a resident of Canada, you should file. So there's I wonder if I can show it here. Deemed. So there's like deemed residents. There's S.16, S.17, and this is going based on whether you have a home, a spouse, or spouse partner in Canada, or children in Canada. So that's another way to be able to, and you really want to make sure that you have the NR74. Look at that, the NR74, and obviously I would have to have a discussion with you to see which one works for you, right? I think it's really important. That's why it's really important when I am sitting down before I press send. I have to make sure you look at the form, because the last thing I want to say is, "Oh yeah, Canadian citizen," and that's not the case, and I'm like, huh, what, right? So that's important, and I think everyone that has filled out the questionnaire has said they're Canadian citizen. But yeah, for the new Canadians, holler at me. I'll be able to educate you on that. Please, please, please contact me at info@FitnanceIQ services to book a thing. And also, yo, fam, guys, I am tired. I have a new addiction. I have bubble tea. I've been having bubble tea. If you want to buy me a coffee or you want to buy me a bubble tea, by all means, I would really appreciate it. And also, what you call it? I just want to have the tax season as smooth as possible. So if make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. If there's someone that really needs help with getting their taxes done, or they're done with doing their taxes, holler at me. I will be able to provide them with that value. First step is getting that questionnaire. I am going to send the checklist to everyone so they are understanding what I need. And then we book an appointment. Whether you want to drop off your taxes virtually or in person, and then we sit down and have a discussion. I'm okay with having a discussion. I just want you guys to book it first. Okay? Yeah. Oh, that, folks. March was long. There was 5 Saturdays in March, and we still were able to come through and do something. And also, my heart goes out, and I didn't mean to chuckle. This is with my nervous. My heart goes out to anyone that's grieving, in a dark place, or trying to just figure out life. I understand it. I get it. Trust me. If you need someone to talk to, you can call me too. Message me. Message me first if I'm free. And also say it's if you say SOS, I'll pick up. But yeah, I just want to tell that to folks, because I know there's a lot of folks that are dealing with a lot, grieving. It's Mercury retrograde. Oh, what happened? It's Mercury retrograde. Watch ya. And things. Wow. Wow, you see how you snake me? It's Mercury retrograde, so stay up, stay cool, and peace and love. All right, bless.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free.